Hey, what's going on, Pats Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Cans Pats Talk Patriots podcast, man. It is a Wednesday. We are on preseason Eve. Got a preseason game tomorrow, Patriots versus the Panthers. So we definitely going to get into that tonight. But first, we're going to talk about the Brendan Ayuk news. He did turn down the Patriots, but I am joined by two special guests tonight. Well, one special guest. I got my boy Stats in the
What's
building. He
up?
gonna
What's
be
up?
what's going on with you, bro? What's going on with you? Then I got Panthers plug. We're gonna talk a little bit tonight about the preseason game tomorrow night. So it's gonna be three of us out here tonight. I promise y'all we'll come back tonight, and we are back tonight. Had a pretty good turnout the other night, man. How you doing, Panthers Plug?
I'm doing good. I had a pretty good episode 2 nights ago talking some football, so ready to do it again.
Yes, sir. We're gonna get into this. Yeah, we're gonna get into this Carolina Panthers here shortly, man. Stats, what's good with you?
Nothing much, man. I'm amped up for tomorrow. I can't wait to go. Got Patriots football back, so I'm excited, and Panthers football too.
Yeah, man. It's not a game that a lot of people want to see because it's two, I guess you could say two bad teams. But you know what? Football's football, and we're here to build these teams back up for the future or whatnot. So, hey, we're gonna see, man. Ready to see Drake May. Ready to see what the Panthers are gonna roll out there tomorrow. But hey, let's start out with the let's address the elephant in the room. The Brendan Ayuk ladies. He did not come to the Patriots. I'm not surprised. Maybe you. I don't know if you surprised or whatnot, stats, but I didn't want him to begin with, but once the rumors started circulating, I was like, okay, hey, I'm all in for it. Why not? You can never have too many good players, but now that it happened, he's in. If you want to say we turned down the offer or he turned it down, he's not going to be a Patriot. So how you feel about it, stats?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the first thing I'll say is you can't blame it on the management or the ownership because they offered him. He would have been the third highest paid receiver in the league if the money that they're saying we would have offered him is true. So immediately we got to shut that down. It's just unfortunate that Brandon Ayuk didn't have any interest going here. I think he just kind of has his mindset to the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. And again, he wants to contend for a Super Bowl. Right now, we're not in that position. But again, a year from now, us or the Panthers could be having different conversations. We could be, playoff contending teams like the Houston Texans were last year. A year ago from today, Houston was being looked at as a team where no one wanted to go to either. Next year, they get Stephon Diggs, and they hit on their two receivers in the draft. That's what we're hoping can happen with us. They hit on the QB. They developed two stud wide receivers, and then the big guys started to come over, like Danielle Hunter, like Stephon Diggs. So that's what I'm hoping can happen. I just want people to relax and, I just don't want people to, just shut down the idea of us being, obviously right now we're not a destination for big time names to come. But again, man, we're just so used to winning. It's going to take time to build back up again. But a year from now, we could be having a lot different conversations.
Yeah, I think the longer it went on, the more I was like, you know what, we're probably not going to land him. And rumor has it today that Mike Reese from ESPN Patriots Insider, if y'all didn't know, we offered him 32 million per year. That's a lot of money. He's still turning it down. So that let me know right there he has zero interest in coming to New England. You had to offer him something. Well, maybe if 32 million you wouldn't do it, maybe 40 million probably. I mean, I don't know if they'd go that high, but I mean that's crazy for him. I don't even think he's a I mean, I guess you could say he's number one, but he's in a loaded offense in San Francisco. So a lot of pressure was taken off him. It was just crazy that what they all. It seemed like the Patriots were desperate, threw a lot of money at him. But I think, hey, when you look, and I made a post about it on IG too. On Ken's Pat, sorry, go follow me on Instagram. I made a post about it. I said the good news is if we didn't get it, we get to keep our draft capital, we keep our money, and we got two young wide receivers we can build off of. We don't have to put up with the headache because he wants to win, which is confusing because if you want to win, why not stay in San Francisco? So I mean, so if you don't want the money from the Patriots, they offer you 32 million, and you want to win, but you don't want to stay in San Francisco. You want to go to Pittsburgh, or I think they say that he didn't want to go to Cleveland either. So I'm kind of confused on what he kind of wants to do. Because if you want to win, you would think he would stay in San Francisco, right? And then people forget the Niners don't have to get rid of him; they can keep him there. They got rights to him for the next couple of years, so they don't have to make an urgent move right now. They can keep him, but I'm just kind of confused on what he wants.
Well, what I don't understand is, the whole Pittsburgh thing, because Pittsburgh's is not in a great situation either. They have two guys on 1 year deals at the quarterback position, and none of them are top 20 guys, in my opinion. You can argue Russell Wilson's right there, but at that point, I don't know why he wouldn't just want to stay in San Francisco because, if you want to win and you want the money, I mean, that can come next year, when free agency comes around. But if you want to win, then you might as well just stay where you are because Pittsburgh is, not even close to the 49ers' chances to win the Super Bowl. And, they're kind of built similarly to us. Questions at quarterback, good defense, not great weapons. So I don't really understand what Ayuk's doing here. I would understand if he just completely shut everything down and just stayed with San Fran. I don't really know why he wants to go to Pittsburgh really that bad, but to each their own. We'll see what he does. But yeah, it was an interesting situation.
Real quick before we get off this topic, because we about to get into the game tomorrow night. While we got our special guest in with us, you can't really fault Elliott Wolf. I know a lot of people say, "Hey, the Patriots don't spend money; they didn't want it." We've been aggressive this all season. Calvin Ridley offering like 28 million, I think it was. Then now with Ayuk 13 million, we've been offering. You can't. You can't put nothing to them and can't put nothing to the head and make them come. They didn't want to. They didn't want to come to the Patriots, so it wasn't a financial issue. So we're gonna keep swinging and we're gonna hit. We're gonna hit at some point. Me personally, I would love if we can get CD Lamb, but I don't think Jerry's gonna let him go. I think T. Higgins is a free agent, but I don't think he's a number one wide receiver. DK Metcalf's still out there. Terry McLaurin to be available maybe next year. So we got to keep swinging. I like the fact because under the old regime, they wouldn't have done none of this. Belichick probably would have low balled him, gave him what about. If Calvin really went for more than 28, Belichick probably would have offered nowhere near that. And he dang sure won't give an RU 32 million. So I think the biggest thing is we are trying to get something going, and we just have to see where it goes from here, man. I hate it, but hey, we still got Baker, we got Poe, and we about to get into the preseason game for tomorrow night. We're gonna have to see what the rookies do, man, and I cannot wait. Real quick before we get into that, let me read his comments. Joseph, I think you guys want to focus on the game, so I'm just going to ask this question right up front. Should I be concerned like I am? We're just cannot let him talk to your wide receiver. Yeah, we are a bad football team right now. Nobody wants to come play in the cold and be bad. So I think that's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, but the script can flip really fast for any team. We've seen it multiple years. So I wouldn't be concerned. You just got to be real and just realize that right now we're not a destination that people want to come to.
Let's see. I'm extremely hopeful and excited for this year, but what if this draft class we just got doesn't pan out? Where do we go from here? Well, where do we go from there? We were offering the most to RU and still couldn't get them. Boy, if we don't heal this draft class, that puts us behind even more. I believe. What you think about that, Steps?
Yeah, it's tough to say right now because we're still waiting to see what these guys can do. I believe in them. I know it's tough to hit on all three guys, but I don't know. Something just seems different about the energy this year with Baker, Polk, and May. I truly believe we can build something with that.
All right, let's get into the game on tomorrow night preseason. Now, this is not a regular season game, the preseason game. We got a special guest here tonight. Panthers plug. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm chilling, ready for some football tomorrow night.
What you looking forward to tomorrow?
Honestly, all the competition that we've seen at camp with the D-line, that second pass rusher, the receivers, that sixth spot at receiver between Jalen Coker and Terrace Marshall. And I know that y'all have a pretty young receiving core, I would say, and not one that's very top heavy. So just our second corners, because of course we have J.C. Horn, but after that is a big drop off. So I'm looking to see for that as well.
Is J.C. Horn playing tomorrow?
No, he's not. And he's had injury problems, so it makes sense why he's not playing, and we know what he is. So
I think this question is for you, Diane. I'll say Diane. Joe, don't you look at this year as a complete rebuild? Is that for the Patriots or Panthers, Diane? I'm assuming probably the Patriots. Probably.
Well, I think she was just responding to one of Joseph's comments, like after what he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You can call it whatever you want, a rebuild, retool year, but it's definitely not a year where we expect to win a Super Bowl. So.
That being said, I think KJ Osborne looks promising. Yes, he does. About the game tomorrow, Jalen Cole. I think he's from Massachusetts. He went to a college close to where the Patriots play at Massachusetts, I believe. Because I think we worked him out or something like that. Is he starting at receiver tomorrow?
Who?
Coker.
He's probably starting because, of course, Deontay's not going to play and Thiel's not going to play. So we're going to have Mingo and just like the four. So he'll probably be in that mix for sure. But yeah, he went to Holy Cross College.
Yeah, Holy Cross. It's a big game for Mingo.
Oh, for Mingo too. Yeah,
Terrence
for
Marshall.
Mingo.
Yeah, Terrence Marshall, Jonathan Mingo, both of those. I'm
Yeah.
sure Marshall won't get a lock. I know he probably can get a somebody probably give up a fifth, sixth round pick for Terrence Marshall. He
Oh
hasn't
yeah.
really done much in Carolina, but I think he put out some good film. And I can't wait to see Marshall play up against our corners.
Yeah.
Isaiah Bowden, Sean Wade, Marco Wilson, Marcellus Dow. Some of the corners that are fighting for roster spots there. So this is a good challenge for that. Demar, Stats, what you looking forward to tomorrow?
My biggest thing it's a boring pick, but it's the offensive line. I'm just nervous
Oh
about.
yeah, man.
I'm nervous about what I'm hearing. The injuries that are happening because if one guy goes down, your sixth guy is just not strong right now at all. Again, not worried about the interior of the line. I love our guards. I love our centers. I'm mainly talking about the tackles right now. Caden Wallace out of Penn State. He's at a promising camp, but again, he's a rookie, so you can't really predict him to be good. And then Chuck Okorafor, he's been an average.
What happened with So?
I heard he went to the medical tent. I don't know if it was anything too serious, but again, just another injury, which does worry me. But back to what I was saying, the Chuck Okorafor, he's been an average left tackle for the Steelers. So we're really banking on a lot with our tackle position because even guys like Calvin Anderson and Vidarian Lowe, you guys know my views on them if you watch our videos. We're very limited there, so I'm looking for a solid day for the offensive line, and I want some guys to step up and prove that they're the number ones there because, again, we don't really have that right now. And then, obviously, the skill position with the receivers. Guys like Tyquan Thornton, if he's healthy, are going to need to have a big game tomorrow. So Wilcox, the tight end's looking to fight Jaheim Bell for the third tight end spot. So, just a lot of the receiving core and the offensive line is what I'm looking at tomorrow.
And then if Drake May starting tomorrow, if that offensive line cannot hold it, there's no way they're going to keep him in the game like that. Because you're going to mess him up mentally and physically too, because he could get hurt. That's for any of the quarterbacks, but mainly, your investment is your number three overall pick. And we knew the offensive line coming to the season was going to be an issue, but just like last year, we starting that season banged up on the offensive line. I don't even think we got a good five yet. I think the only ones that we can just shoe in and say, hey, they're starting is Andrews and Onwenu. Other than that, I don't know. We can say City's out. Yeah. So okay, that's three. So you still your two tackles are question marks. Whether it's gonna be Caden or Chugs, Anderson or Vidal. I think, and this, if you're gonna have some musical chairs, you want to have that in at guards probably. I don't think you want to have it at tackles.
Yeah, the tackles are way more important. And just the interesting thing about that is, Drake May, like you said, he's going to be under a lot of duress tomorrow. And I wonder how long they're going to keep him in there because who knows, what's going to happen with that. I think we're going to see a lot of the starters tomorrow, a lot of the guys on the bridge. I think KJ Osborne will start the game tomorrow. I think Juju's going to he's going to have a big game tomorrow to, prove who he is. We got a lot of guys on the fence right now that, need to prove themselves to make this roster.
What weakness from the Panthers do you feel like you're going to be looking for tomorrow night when you're watching the game?
I feel like the same thing for you guys. I feel like Icky at left tackle because, of course, you drafted him at 6 overall in 2022, and he just has not tapped into his pass protection potential. And I'm just really looking forward to that because I feel like after year one, he had a pretty decent first season, but then last season he kind of took a decline, and you normally don't see that in year two for any player. Like you normally see a step up, and I feel like he's only gotten worse, to be honest with you. So that's probably the biggest question mark for me. And also that DJ Johnson is probably another one because he's also heading into year two as well. Well, Aikens heading into year three, but DJ Johnson heading into year two at that second edge position, and he will start. So I'm looking at that as well.
How do you feel y'all going to go about replacing Jeremy Chan at the safety position?
We have Jordan Fuller right there, so I feel like he's a pretty talented, strong safety, and he's going to bring a lot with that at that second safety position with Xavier Woods, a pretty talented safety core. I feel like safety's a pretty deep. Yeah, I feel like safety's a pretty deep position on our defense with him and Jordan Fuller already there. So.
And is Andy Dalton? Dalton's not playing tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Andy Dalton's injured for a couple of weeks, so he'll probably be back by week 1, I would say, but he's not playing preseason.
A couple of the player stats I feel tomorrow I want to look at is I think I said Oshane Azimet. I think this is his name. Yep. I want to see what he can do because Judon's probably not playing tomorrow. He's been half into that practice. Some of the pass rushers, Anthony Jen, he might play a little bit. Uche, I don't know about him. But Oshane Azimet, man, you've been there, so you've been seeing him come off the edge, He's been like not gonna say going off, but he's been noticeable in camp. And some I don't know who. I mean, what other passers do you think will be can make some plays tomorrow?
Well, the thing I was just gonna bring up is our deep. You're gonna see a lot more starters and guys of note playing on the offensive side because we're not really worried about the defense. We have a really good defense, but just to talk about that for a second, like you said, O'Shane's gonna get a lot of time. I think Anthony Jennings is gonna probably get some time. Probably Josh Uche because he didn't really have a great year last year. And then Keon White will probably get some time too because Matt Judon he's not playing tomorrow. He will. I'm not even sure. I don't even think he's gonna dress tomorrow to be quite honest with you.
He'll probably dress. He just ain't gonna play.
Yeah, you probably won't see like Devon. You won't see a lot of Devon Godshaw. We know who those guys are. I'm looking for some depth at the edge, and if O'Shane can bring a solid he can be a solid number 3 for us after a guy like Anthony Jennings or Josh Uche, that'd be great because we saw last year Anthony Jennings and Josh Uche with the absence of Matt Judon, they really did struggle. Mac Wilson was probably our most consistent edge rusher last year. He's obviously on the Cardinals now. So I'm just looking for a huge step from those two.
How far do you think the Panthers are from really competing for number 1 in division and just competing like in general?
I feel like, of course, the NFC South is one of the worst divisions in the league. So I feel like if everything goes right, maybe we'll compete this year. But because we're in the NFC South, but like actually competing by like actually seeing talent, like work and stuff like that, I feel like we're maybe 2 years away, maybe one more year. I don't feel like we're like going to compete this season, of course, unless it's through the NFC South. But I feel like next season, if we see a step with Bryce Young and that Deontay Johnson connection and Jonathan Mingo takes that leap and XL proves himself as a rookie and everything falls together next season, I feel like you'll be able to see us, really make the playoffs.
Joseph says, yes, we're definitely in rebuilding mode. We're going to need help. And if we can't get the top-notch guys to sign here, we're going to have to nail almost all the draft picks. Yeah. Best way to put it. It puts a lot of stress on drafting. Welcome back. So I got this a question for you, Panther Plus. Join your channel, and I watched the last video. You're good and interesting. Shout out to you, Panther Blood. Yes, sir. Love the support. Janine, hi everyone. What's going on with you, Janine? Hey, it's 20 of y'all in here. Make sure you hit that like button on YouTube. Follow me on IG, Twitter, share the content on Facebook, give me the thumbs up on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. It don't take but a second. Hey, Janine. Okay, Joseph said, hey, Janine. Joseph, I'm not surprised. I'm more concerned. Are you talking? I think you're probably talking about the Brandon.
A lot of this is about the Brandon Ayuk stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. Yeah. What's up, Janine? I'm gonna see. I love the positivity, but we have 2 rookies at wide receiver and we have a rookie quarterback. How often does a team nail all 3 of those picks? I'm trying to stay positive. I'm frustrated. Good point. Not often, but I think if you can nail 2 or 3, you don't need both. I mean, if you can get both wide receivers to hit, that's good. That'd be great. But I think you really don't need one of them. I mean, because Javon Baker's a 4th round receiver. Expectation probably ain't that high when you're 4th round. Now, if he was a 2nd or 3rd or 1st, then yeah. But I mean, you could never have too many good wide receivers hit. So I think the more the better, and that's less of a need you might have at the position this offseason.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, we look at the free agent class next year. It's deep because even if we're still not like a great team and you can't land those top-notch guys, there's still a lot of solid players out there like Chris Godwin, who's a free agent next year that we can sign. There's just a lot of guys out there. I wouldn't worry too much about not being able to land big names because again we are a Boston team and I think in 2 to 3 years we're going to be back right in that Super Bowl contention talks again.
Joe said, Ayuk is all kinds of confused. What is this dude looking for? I just said the same thing, man. I don't know. I feel like those top-notch wide receivers for agent for next year just right in this moment. All pop dreams. We can get a top 20 wide receiver all of a sudden. A top 5 wide receiver is going to land here. Good point. When I looked at the class for next year, it's not all that because and then a lot of those guys they are projected to be free agents. Those teams might franchise them. They might come to an extension before that time comes. So that's a fluid situation right now. I mean, I think I seen Hollywood Brown, T. Higgins, Calvin. No, not Calvin really, but DeAndre Hopkins. Like a lot of those guys, like I mean, they might even. I mean, I could see D Hop being a free agent again. I think us another somebody else. I say, oh, Stephon Diggs is a free agent, but if he has a good year in Houston, he's going to cash out somewhere. And Texas might re-sign him.
Yeah.
Anthony Jennings, we need him with Barmore and Judon unclear. Yeah, Jennings not going to give you 10, 12 sacks though. That's not his game. Let's see. Joe said, would like to ask Panther Plug what he thinks from his point of view. Even you guys got Deontay. Do football people you talk to kind of consider us a joke now? I know Carolina isn't locked, isn't loaded, but what do you think? Just for you, Panther Plug.
No, I feel like that win total that y'all had, it was 4.5.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like that was too low for sure.
No,
I feel like y'all
for,
definitely. For me,
I think this. He said, would like to ask Panther Plug what he thinks from his point of view. Even you guys got Deontay. Do football people you talk to kind of consider? Oh, well, it says us a joke now. I know Carolina isn't loaded, but what do you think? So you're right. You was right.
Okay, so talking about y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I feel like no, y'all definitely have talent this year. I feel like with Drake May, as I mentioned when I was on last time, I feel like he was definitely my favorite quarterback in this draft class for sure because of his ability to just throw the ball in the pocket. And I love Jalen Polk, so I feel like y'all definitely have some young talent to work with for sure. And that defense is really good. Of course, I love Christian Gonzalez. And then you said Matt Judon. I don't know is he contract problems right now? You said.
Yeah.
But I mean, y'all have some really young talent that I really like. So I feel like no, I don't see y'all as a joke at all for sure. So
Joseph said, does Judon have to get signed now? I think something has to get done. I'm not gonna say good sign, but something needs to be done now because you don't want to go into the season with this waving on you. You don't want distraction. You're a young team right now. You don't need a veteran like setting an example. Like he already did that on the sideline when you were there. You don't want a distraction or whatnot. So I'm not gonna say he needs to be signed now, but something needs to be done now.
Yeah, what it seems like, it seems like Judon's just going to try and play through what he is now, which is the worst case scenario in my opinion, because then next year you're going to lose him for nothing. So I think you should either re-sign him to a long extension now or just trade him, because you cannot have a guy of that caliber just walk in free agency next year. So you either got to extend him to a long-term deal or trade him.
Diana says, "Do I think Vederian Lowe will start? I guess do we think Vederian Lowe will start?" Oh man, this is a good question right here. I don't know. It seemed like the past week he's been getting first team reps.
Yeah, he has.
So I mean, I don't know how to feel. I remember seeing him last year, and if it's the same Vederian Lowe I seen last year, that wasn't good. Now I haven't been at camp. Stats has been there, so he's the best person to ask about that. But what happened? I think Caden Wallace was getting the starting reps. I thought they was just mismatching, like they were just trying some things out. But I think I seen like 5 straight practice with Vederian Lowe, and he's probably gonna start tomorrow if he plays.
Well, I mean, the only other idea I can give you with that is maybe they're just trying to develop, because I've seen Caden Wallace a lot playing with Drake May, along with Layden Robinson, our 4th round pick. I think they're trying to develop the young guys all together, maybe give Drake May some help on the line, because I remember the first day of pads, Caden Wallace was starting, and Drake May and Vederian Lowe on the second team, and the offensive line looked like a complete disaster.
That's what man.
Out too. So, I mean, maybe they're just trying to balance it out a little bit, but as of right now, it does seem like Vederian Lowe is the guy. I'm pretty sure statistically he was the worst. He had the worst grade at left. I think he was at right tackle last year through the first couple weeks of the season. I just don't think he can be your starting right tackle, especially if you want to play Drake May at all this year. So my hope, what I was going to bring up earlier, is with the money that you didn't spend on Ayuk, maybe go out and sign a veteran tackle like David Bakhtiari, or
Donovan Smith.
Donovan Smith. I think the guy, there's a guy from the Chargers, Corey Linsley too. I think he's a free agent too. So there's some guys out there. Again, not, they're all like a little out of their prime now, but it's a lot better than what we got going right now.
Joseph, I'm sorry, boys. I'm over my Ayuk tantrum. Thanks for talking me off the ledge, and sorry to Panthers Plus for having to listen to all that nonsense. You good, man? Let me see. Jacoby Brissett will start. How much playing time will May get? I think, good question. We were just about to get into that before we get off for the night. I think Brissett's probably, it depends on how the first couple series go. If his first series is a long drive, I think they'll sit him out. But I think Brissett probably get about 3 possessions, probably 3 drives, if that. And I think May probably going to play into the third quarter because I think they want to get him in like a regular game. Okay, you go into halftime, you make your adjustment, then you come out the third quarter and see. I mean, make your adjustment right there. Listen to the coaches, headset, and all that good stuff. So I think, and it may if Brissett's gonna start, maybe to get all the reps he can get like immediately. You don't. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what the preseason is for. But I think if they can keep him upright, and if the offensive line ain't a disaster, I think he can play until like the second half.
yeah, that's kind of how I viewed it. I think Brissett, will probably get, he'll probably play to like the 5 minute mark left in the first quarter. I'd say May will finish out the half, and I think the third and fourth will just be split with Milton and Zappi. And then for Panthers plug for you, I heard Bryce Young's probably not going to play tomorrow.
He's not playing tomorrow, which is I don't know why, but just get him in the rhythm. But it is what it is.
I was gonna expect maybe him to get like a quarter because again,
I mean, I think we should because he's new coaching staff, just new everything, O-line, receivers, and with how bad the team was last year, I think we need to see him out there a little bit. But I'm hoping that it's just this week and maybe he plays next 2 weeks, maybe like a couple drives. But
yeah, because if Bryce Young was, I'm not saying I don't, because I still believe in Bryce Young.
Yeah,
I always believe in giving 2 to 3 years, but it's not like Bryce Young was like amazing enough last year.
I agree.
Where you don't really need to see enough any of them. I was gonna expect him maybe to even play the first quarter. Who do you guys got going at quarterback tomorrow?
Jack Plummer for sure. I think he'll start for us for sure.
Yeah,
and we also have Jake Lewin that we signed
a
couple of days because of that Andy Dalton injury. But Jack Plummer is definitely. Just because he's a rookie, he's younger. We'll definitely run him.
I've seen that. Stats face when asked about Lowe. That was awesome. Let me see. You three got to work together more. You guys are solid trail. Appreciate it, man. Panthers, Patriots. Hey, we see. We got a lot of stuff playing. We got something going on next week after. So stay tuned for that. And we don't play the Panthers this year during the season, but we probably still get Panther plug back up in here sometime during the year.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Let me see. I think Poke is on the mission to silence the critics. Yeah. Poke's really been doing a lot of talking, but I think he's one of the ones that can back it up. But it's motivation talking. He ain't just talking, calling nobody out. It's motivate. He's responding to people, responding to what the media is saying. So I kind of like that, man. We haven't had it in a while. Him and Baker. We haven't had two alphas like that, two dogs like that. So they still got to put together on the field, and so far they've been doing it. But you put those two at Pop Douglas, and they're motivated coming off the season they had. I think we got something going there.
Yeah, I agree. I think like Plug said, we're not super top heavy yet because we don't really have the big names. But again, by next year, we could be talking like we have, Pop Douglas could be emerged as one of the best twos in the game, and then either Polk or Baker can come out as your number one, and you got KJ Osborne. Because KJ Osborne, I know we just signed him. He's in a contract year. He's only he's only here for 1 year, so he's here to he's playing to make some money. Whether we re-sign him or not, KJ Osborne has something to prove this year. So I'm expecting a big year out of him.
He's been coming on lately in camp too.
Yeah, he has, and I'm super happy about that because I did like the signing. I know it's not super exciting or super sexy, but I did like the signing of KJ Osborne. So those 4 right there, and then you got Kendrick Bourne coming back, who's a little bit. I think he's a little bit better than KJ Osborne, but you got 2 veterans, and then you got the 3 young guys. I do like the look of that receiving core.
All right, before we get off Panther, before we get off for the night, 2 questions for you. 1, what you want to see tomorrow, and 2, give me stats and the fans. We got a bunch of people in here. Give me stats and the fans a Panther prediction for this season and a breakout player for the Panthers this season.
Okay, good questions. I'm gonna say what I'm definitely looking out for tomorrow is that first player D.A. Johnson, of course, because as I said, y'all said that y'all tackles aren't really that good right now. So I'm going to be watching that for sure. And then I'm going to say just the second corner position, as I've been stating, on your, receivers. Is all your receivers playing, or is it just, is
the majority of them probably going to play?
Yeah,
I think
starters are going to play. Most of them are going to play tomorrow.
Okay, I don't know about Tyquan Thornton, but I think most of them are play. He's always dealing with something. Soft tissue injury again.
Won't play either.
So that'll be a good test then, because if y'all starters are playing, it'll be a good test for our backups or just our number 2 with Dane Jackson and Charles Smith-Way as a rookie. So I'm definitely looking for that, and then also just the O-line, Icky specifically, because he hasn't tapped into that potential being the 6th pick as a left tackle. So I'm definitely gonna look for that. So yeah, and then also to your second question. I feel like this season, again, if we compete for the playoff spot, it'll be through the NFC South. but I'll probably lean 7-8 wins probably this season. Anywhere from like a 5 to 8 range is what I'll probably go. And a breakout player, that's actually hard. Definitely Jonathan Mingo for sure. I'll probably say
I was gonna go
Jonathan
with
Mingo.
I was gonna go with Marshawn Brooks. I mean not Marshawn, but Jonathan Brooks for y'all.
Jonathan Brooks, yeah.
But he's not gonna play. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Deontay Johnson.
Okay.
I think Johnson's gonna be solid.
Are we doing a breakout player for the Panthers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Jatavion Sanders, tight end.
Okay, I like that.
forgot
I
all
like that
about
one.
him,
I like
yeah.
that one. Yeah. Our
I-
time.
I
Oh
want-
yeah, and I'm gonna be looking at that at our time position too, because it's so close. Like anybody could get it. Tommy Trumbull's injured, and JT is gonna probably get first reps as a rookie. So that's gonna be interesting as well, because again, preseason is really the last stretch of seeing with all this competition. It's really the last stretch of seeing who's gonna be starter with all this competition. So
I like the talking. Well said, Ken, on Jalen Pope and his talking. I agree with that. Yes, sir. Let me see. I'm keeping receipts. Panthers plug. Yes, sir. Hey, that's gonna be it for tonight. Game tomorrow. Me and staff will be back tomorrow night. Not a long show, but you gonna be at the stadium tomorrow. So we're gonna try
I'll
to
be
do
there.
a
Yeah, I'll be there. We can give our final predictions and stuff like
yeah,
that.
we're gonna do a show tomorrow night, probably around about I think the game is probably about 7. Probably go live about 7 tomorrow. I think the game is at 7:30. You want to do that?
We'll see if I'm in the stadium by then. I'll let you know what time tomorrow, but we'll definitely be doing something.
All right. Yes, we appreciate all the comments. And I appreciate all the V. Had a bunch of people here tonight. Panther Plug, we appreciate you coming on tonight. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
well, first of all, I appreciate y'all for having me on. It was a very good video, I thought. Y'all can find me on Twitter at Panther Plug and on Spotify at Panther Plug. Just if you want to follow me there.
Yes, sir, man. And hey, we're gonna try to we gotta get you back on during the season, man. Probably
sir,
during
yes,
the
sir.
Panthers bye week or something like that. When's
Okay.
y'all bye week?
It's I think like week 6 or 7, something like that. Somewhere in there.
I wish we could bye week that early.
No, yeah, I think it's early in the season for us this season.
Okay, well, we might try. We're gonna try to get you back on, man. Love doing
Okay.
content. Love collabing with you, man. Had a good show. Hey, y'all make
Love
sure
it
you
too.
follow me on Instagram, Twitter, like the content on YouTube, subscribe to the content. Follow my boy Stats on Instagram page, man. He got one of the best pages, IG pages out there. Patriots status. Give my follow. YouTube. If you here, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe to the comment. Subscribe to the content and share the content on Facebook, man. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good. We will see y'all tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, boys.
See ya.
Yes, sir.